Nelson Mandela once said that sports has the power to unite a nation and that it is stronger than any other thing the country can project in terms of social cohesion. One of the country's major sports is boxing, and it has been that for many a year. But in recent times, boxing has struggled to really get itself off the canvas, and it has been in doldrums for many a year. Minister Fikile Mbalula alluded to the fact that we needed to get boxing back off the canvas, and they did so with the whole concept of boxing is back. But maladministration, bribery and corruption still exists in the sport.
That's the aim. I've been looking after fighters, preparing them. They come from rural areas, they accommodate them, I feed them. It's time out, I've had enough of boxing. I don't know if I'm going to continue with this.
Boxing South Africa must be accountable for whatever to make sure that boxing is on top once again.
I don't know what's going on because how can you go 3 times draw on a roll?
This is the streets of Meadowlands in Soweto, and for most, it's the harshest reality of them all. We're here now in Soweto at the Mandawe house, and this is of course the house of Mama Mandawe, who is the mother of Boitshepo Mandawe, who recently passed away. And we're going to take a little bit of time to speak to her and get an understanding as to what has happened to boxing in this country, more specifically the tragedy that has been beset upon her and her family. Paint a picture for me, tell the public, why was he so important? Give us a background too.
The day of the death, those weeks, was about a few weeks from Thailand. Going for fighting for South Africa, not for me alone, for South Africa as a whole. And he was very proud of that, Mama. I'm gonna make South Africa proud.
We're here today obviously to discuss the story about your son, a very prominent boxer within the South African setup, who's recently passed away. Just paint a picture for me in terms of what has happened with that and how are you coping as a family?
I was spending everything for my son, expecting that because he was in the company called Boxing South Africa as a professional boxer, they just come to the public and tell the public in front of the public and said they're gonna help me. And they took my details, my ID, my account number, and everything. And I've never asked them. They find I've done everything for the funeral alone while my son was working under Boxing South Africa.
Mama, and I'm gonna hold your hand here. When you're looking at what BSA promised you, who are these people? Why have they come out, made promises? And what do you have to say to them about his passing away and the promises that were made?
The man called Archie. I didn't know the face of Archie, but it's the one who sent everything that he can, the BS. I don't know because of I'm not working there. They're gonna help us. But the funeral was just done already, every arrangement. They make promises. When I phoned that person, he answered the phone and said, I'm busy. Then somebody took the phone and said, no, he's busy, he's going somewhere, all this stuff. Now they just end up gone with those promises they've made.
You look at everything, you say your son died and for this sport, or he died, but they made a promise. And what was the actual amount of what they said that they were going to?
They just said, we're gonna help you with everything for your expense you've done for your son. Because we heard late about it, but I didn't believe that they heard late about it, because they know it's their boxer. I don't believe that, because they said after the day of funeral they will answer me, but since
there was no amount that they gave you?
They've never given me even a cent. Instead, they're just going around to the public that
they paid 50,000 rand.
They've never said that. Instead, they just said to the public, to the rumors, and said the other rumors, they just hate them. Said the guy haven't got money, but I don't know those person. But they just said that in front of the public. The public knows about that. They always say, shame, I'm so sorry, Mama, because of boxing South Africa.
To get a further understanding of the story, we spoke to Isaac Mandawe, the brother of deceased Boitshepo Mandawe. You've got some documentation here that are quite incriminating. Just take us through what is here. It's your brother, and I understand this is a bit tough for you as well. But yeah, tell.
Yes, this is the birth certificate, the death certificate. That states the time of his death when he passed away. It was on the 13th, on August 2015.
Okay.
Yes, which was a very difficult time for us, especially for my mom, because she's the only single parent around us and she's the one that takes care of us. So when it happened, it was actually the shock to her, because everybody kept on making promises which they never did fulfill towards her, and whereby she never did follow up because of the grief and everything. And people took her griefness for weakness, and they never did pitch up, never did communicate with her and stuff. So, and these documents are the documents.
Now that's obviously the most, probably the most important document here that you have.
This document,
explain.
It's from the High Court that states they must please confirm on how much money was due to my brother. This information is necessary. It was necessary on the master of determining what type of appointment should be made. So once we faxed this letter to the Boxing Association.
And what was the response with regards to that?
They never did respond, and we even wrote a letter. We even faxed a letter just to verify that people, did you get the fax that you guys got from the High Court? No one did respond, and no one did even tell us that no, we got the letter. This is what had actually happened. Till we had to get the undertaker involved, because they were helping us with the payment of the funeral arrangements and stuff. Because at the end of the day, they went to the funeral and they had audacity and the decency to stand in front of the public and state that they'll be able to help us with the things that we need and that we are covered financially based on them. They said the words were, there are contribution made by the Boxing Association. Don't worry, the Mandawe family will be okay. Our condolence goes to the family. That's what they did. As the state was asking them, like they didn't know that the money, the thing is with this document states that there was money that was given out to the people that was supposed to be given us, it was given to us, whereby they were supposed to be helped with us. And suddenly they get it also from the High Court. It's not like something that was made up. It has stamps, it has everything. It has stamps, the signature, it has everything that comes from the department as well. Whereby they had confirmation that they needed only confirmation that when did we receive the money, how much money was supposed to be given from the Boxing Association people, and how were we supposed to formulate the whole thing. So technically, we're not going to say people got the money, people didn't get the money. We have no idea, because everybody came silent when we came to this, when they got confronted on that.
Do you feel that BSA has walked down the wrong path here in first, promising something and then not delivering on it? And also, more importantly, more should be done to support fighters coming up within the ranks of South Africa?
Yes, I'm totally disappointed on the Boxing Association people. Totally, so bad it hurts. Whereby my mom was also, we were victimized by them, I would put it like that. My brother got an award for the best fighter of the year. And he never got recognition for that. And it sucks whereby the people that are trying to represent them, whereby they should get acknowledged, even if after death as well. But he was never. Even during his living days, he was never. He was only there for them to push the names on the association so that people should know they're doing that. Everybody knew my brother. He was a mentor to most little kids. Like, he even had people that were younger than I am. They would come and go like, Mandawe, we've been seeing you training and stuff, and we see how you've been going well with training and you've been getting fights. How do you do it?
Boitshepo Mandawe!
They never discussed the angle about they can only cover him if he passes in the ring.
They never did. They only did that after, while they saw that we kept on nagging and calling them. I think in a way, because in our minds, because we didn't know about that, in our minds it was like, no, they're just making an excuse. They just need an excuse just to cover up what they've done, what they actually promised and never did deliver. So the box.
And if I may ask you, who was the person that said that?
It was Achingwenyama or something like that. Nyewa or something like that. It was Achinyewa. So he was the guy that people were talking to. He was the guy that was doing all the communication. Suddenly, everything went to a standstill. Everything stopped.
Mandawe's trainer and manager Eugene Kanyile was also puzzled by BSA's lack of interest in a situation they promised to help with.
Last year, August, Boitshepo Mandawe passed on. And then, out of the blue, BSA, the Gauteng chairman, Achinyungwa, called me and said I must go and ask the particulars of mother of the deceased boxer, Boitshepo Mandawe. They wanted to help her to bury the boxer. I duly did that and submitted everything to Achinyungwa and expecting that money to come and help the boxer, but nothing happened. Really, I really don't know why the BSA came out and offered help to a boxer, because boxers are only insured when they are fighting in the ring. That's according to my understanding. But for them to come out and say they want to help the boxer when he passed on, I thought probably it's a new thing. But nothing really happened after that. So I'm left with a problem, because the mother keep on asking me as to why I came to her and ask her particulars. What did I do with those particulars? You know, what happened? Did I eat the money and all those things? And I gave her the number to BSA to liaise with BSA. Really, I'm a child of boxing. I grew up in boxing, and I would love to see transparency happening in boxing. As the new CEO and the new chairman are being elected and are running, trying to clean up the sport, I think this is the case that they must follow up and show that they put their mouth where they put the money where their mouth is, by exposing people who probably took the money and used it for their own purposes. After the funeral does not end when you bury the person. There are a lot of cultural things that you have to do after that. I think that money will help the lady, the mother of the boxer, probably in terms of putting a tombstone, in terms of cleansing the family and all those things. So I'm asking for the BSA to really do what they promise to give to the mother.
We managed to track down the man at the center of the whole debacle, Archie Nyengwa, and he was mum about the situation. I'm specifically asking that because obviously allegations has recently been hurdled at BSA in terms of the fighter Mandawe and the money that BSA was supposed to pay to the mom after he passed. Can you give any comment on that in that regard, and the allegations that have been brought to the fore there?
Can I backtrack on that one? That one BSA must answer, because I'm a provincial manager of BSA. I'm not a person that in the board or in the office. The CEO and the chairperson, they'll answer those questions.
Having said that, the mother in that situation has said that she's tried to communicate to BSA with no real clarity as to what BSA had promised originally.
No, that the question that you are implying to me, BSA must answer that. The chairperson or
aren't you?
No, I don't have power to answer that one.
Don't have power.
No, I don't have power to answer that one.
BSA once again promising one thing and then not delivering on it.
BSA is following the rules and regulations. BSA must answer this question that you're asking.
According to the promoter and the fighter and the mother, that it was you that sanctioned that move for monies or okayed those things when she tried to get in contact with.
Can I be honest? This question that you are asking, I think BSA, the CFO, is in charge of answering all these things. I'm not entitled to answer such questions. We've got the main office, I'm in the law division. We've got the main office to answer such questions.
With Mr. Nyangwa failing to answer our questions, we took it a step further and approached BSA's new CEO, Mr. Sholofelo Lijaka. One of the areas of concern obviously has been around, fighters specifically having sort of lack of knowledge about what they're supposed to be doing within the terms of BSA and the rulings within BSA. Looking back a few months ago, for example, a fighter by the name of Boitshepo Mandawe died outside of the ring, and it was under the mother's perception that BSA will help, or she said that BSA will come to her aid. How difficult has it been for that particular situation, whereby now she's out and about saying BSA never helped me, my son died, etc., etc. How difficult is it now for you?
It always becomes sad and regrettable if any of our athletes or licensee has to depart from this world under whatever circumstances, be it in the ring or outside the ring. And now, what we are doing as Boxing South Africa, we're working on extending the scope of the benefits that we extend to our boxers. And at this point in time, we are in discussions with a few possible partners who are saying that, yes, it is well and fine to ensure a boxer for what happens inside the ring, but for the duration of the lifespan of his license with you, it can actually be extended. It is possible. It is possible to have life covers.
Just to shed light, I'm not sure if you are aware of the Boitshepo Mandawe situation where the mother proclaims that BSA was supposed to help her, and they came to the funeral, and with reference to Archie, she references that he promised to help with a down payment or the funeral fund. Can you shed any light on perhaps that before we move on to other topics?
No, I honestly wouldn't want to be thrown into that conversation at this point in time, purely because not all facts are on the table in respect of that. And I think from a courtesy point of view, it's something that I wouldn't really want to delve into at this point.
For many, the plight of the Mandawe family only echoes the sentiment that boxing in South Africa is still on the canvas.
That's the end. I've been looking after fighters, preparing them. They come from rural areas. They accommodate them. I feed them. It's time out. I've had enough of boxing. I don't know if I'm going to continue with this.
We just do boxing because we love boxing, but on a boxing, especially on a BSA, there is so much corrupt. Even me, I remember last I fight, when I go to fight, I went 3 times on a row on a draw. They go on a draw. So I don't know how is it happening like that, or maybe it's a BSA official, or is it I don't know what's going on.
Ga ba le teng fa ene ntate Archie o tshamekileng ka mowa wa ka o tshamekeleng ka mowa wa ka le mowa wa bana ba ka wa family ya ka o tsere letlapa le le kima a le ba mo tlhogong ngaka a nkgatella ya ka ngwana ka ile gore ke go tlase ya ka ngwana ka ile go tlasa go sa botlhoko. I feel, you know, ga ke tsore nka re moene ntwa ya dirileng. I don't think ka tsho ke mo tshwaretse ka ntwa ya dirile o tshamekile ka mowa wa family wa ka o nkutlwisitse botlhoko le ya no le ba re la ache o ka re ka mmona motho a teng fo pele ga ka.
My brother was a very, very strong-willed person. He was an inspiration to everybody. It is so sad and painful what was done to my family and to his soul as well, and to his son as well. He had his own family, he had his own dreams, and it was shattered, and things and promises were made that were not fulfilled. I hope people like that rot in hell for the things that they did and the things that they put my mother through, the pain and the suffering they had to put her through, and the shame that she had to endure in people in the community as well. So the Boxing Association, you should always make sure that people do what you say and how it's done, and everything. You should always do a follow-up in everything that you do. Please, in order to make South Africa great, you need to always put your people first. That's how it is. Stop victimizing the poverty, the poor people.
I'm asking for the BSA to really do what they promise.
It's a problem because also when someone promises something, you expect something. If you don't get that something they promise you, it's a problem. You're thinking about them every day. Even now, she's still thinking about them because she's still waiting.
Is there anything that you want South Africans to be aware about what's happening in boxing in this country? Everybody
who got child or children who's working under the box in South Africa, they're not honest. They become, when they want something from you, they become friendly and honest. When they're supposed to do what is needed, they just stand out, especially when it comes to the money, to help people. I don't know why.
Of course, that was the mother of the Mandawe family, and she, like many South Africans, are caught up and embroiled in Boxing South Africa's shenanigans, and it remains to be seen whether she will get help and whether it will come in time. I'm Pashka Mudlia for ANN7, Johannesburg.